quiet as the depths.
Anything juicy? Maybe it has something to do with that wall painting in the other room. Let's check it out. I'm no art critic, but I've never seen a mural like that. Looks like an elf and Zarep holding hands. What do you see? Why don't we ask Tehangan about it? It's her house. She ought to know something.
Oh, please tell me I can go home now. And you found the leader, right? Like I asked you to? What would I know about... All right, I lied to you. I can't keep it up anymore. Have you ever felt aimless? Like you ought to have a purpose, but you don't? Like you'd do anything to find out why you're meant to be here? That's a stupid question, isn't it? Of course you'd understand. An animancer told me that I might have half a soul. I finally had an answer. The question was, who got the other half? I thought if I could meet this person and see what they were like, I might gain some purpose or something. And then I came here and found a Zarep. But what do I do about it? How do I not think about what I can never have? I'm so... I've got to find some meaning in all this. I can't go back and I can't go forward. I'm just stuck here. Lost. Again. Are you serious? I don't call raiding my house diplomatic. If you're positive it doesn't mean me any harm, I'll go. I'll be brave. I'll find it. I really hope you're right. Oh, I forgot. You still deserve to be paid for your time, if nothing else. I didn't think... Well, it's nice to get help from an Adiran. I'll say that much.
First get leaves, his letters won't turn up.
Maybe it's superstition, but Audra like this usually marks a good spot to rest. After your voyage, it must be nice to spend the night on dry land. Work. That'll help against whatever we face out there. Anyway, personally, I've always found the rocking of a ship to be soothing. As long as I've got my feet facing the bow, that is. You know, for most people, getting sent to the living lands is a punishment. But, according to Cynric, you're the personal envoy of the Emperor of Adir himself. Quite a position. Tall grass, huh? Even in Rauatai, you lot are the stuff of legend. I guess I should count myself lucky our paths didn't cross sooner. But that raises a bigger question. Why would your emperor send one of his most accomplished warriors all the way out here? I don't know how you investigate a so-called plague of the soul, so better you than me. Being a godlike, I don't suppose your patron deity gives you any unique insights into matters of the soul, do they? I thought every godlike knew their god. That's one of the stranger things I've heard. And out here, that's saying something. Sorry, these are unusual times. I haven't met anyone who's really seen the Dream Scourge yet, but that hasn't stopped people from worrying about the rumors. Refugees are flooding in from outlying regions. The guards are restricting access to the city. And people are making offerings to the gods for everything from hangovers to indigestion, just in case. And here I was hoping for good news. Unfortunately, the presence of so many Adiran troops and the rumored exploits of the Steel Garrote Paladins supporting them is only making a tense situation worse. I think that's why the Clavenger accompanied your ambassador. Exactly. Paradise has been quiet lately, but I don't know how long that'll last. We're talking about an island that has been largely settled by nomads, exiles, and dissidents. People who tend to be suspicious of authority. But what about you? What's your stake in things? Besides your orders, of course. Someone once told me you need more than a little crazy to last out here. I get the feeling you'll fit right in. I'll let you get some rest, but thanks for talking. It's good to be part of a squad again, even if it's just for a while. It's the gateway to the Living Lands, a scenic port city that's as beautiful and dangerous as the wilds around it. Most visitors enjoy some mariner's porridge at the Balarock, a back alley shakedown, and then the sudden return of that porridge out of one end or the other. Then, if they've got any sins, they turn around and take their chances back where they came from, with authentic tales of their adventures in the Living Lands. Don't get me wrong, it's a great city. In part because it's great at winnowing out people who have no business being here. The Living Lands means a hard-won second chance for the people who settle here. But first, you've got to survive it. And the island gives no quarter. For a lot of people, the Living Lands is a last resort. They come fleeing war, debt, famine, the law. Take your pick. For others, it's freedom. To seek glory. To redefine yourself, to live in a way you can't, maybe even on pain of death wherever you come from. Oh, little of everything. Rauatai is famous for storms and rocky soil, so I figured if I'm going to live in a hostile environment, why not pick some place where things grow? It seemed like a good idea at the time. Used to be. If you could last out here, you could count on being left alone. Dangers in the wilds is nothing new out here, but something about the Dream Scourge is. And if that weren't enough, a lot of people aren't too keen on Adir's presence and affiliations out here. Ilgard's new embassy and his alliance with the Steel Garrote smell like the authority and order that a lot of people came here to leave behind. But I don't mean to put that on you. I imagine you're tired of having to answer for every Adiran who sneezes into somebody's stew. They say people afflicted with it have strange, vivid dreams and start confusing them with reality. What starts as a light daze becomes severe disorientation and eventually a bent towards chaotic violence. And then, fungal growths take over your body. So Dream Scourge. No, Dream Scourge is different. It spreads all over. Still, if you see any new mushrooms sprouting up anywhere unexpected, let me know. Until then, look on the bright side. The Living Lands is filled with people and things that are likelier to kill you first. And I've got answers. Some of them may even be true. I joined up with the Raotai Navy as soon as I was old enough. I was part of our campaign to establish a foothold in the Deadfire Archipelago. Starting out, it was exciting, purposeful. I believed in our mission. We were returning to our ancestral homeland, reclaiming fertile soil that would feed Raotai. Additionally, we were helping Deadfire, bringing organization to the pirate-ridden archipelago and civilization to our distant Wana cousins. To Adir bringing order and civilization to our lawless frontier? Then I hope you learn from my mistakes faster than I did. The Wana didn't want us there. We spent almost as much time fighting the tribes as we did pirates and Wilder. And it was hard to see how any of our fighting and dying was feeding people back home. I'd always heard that war was supposed to temper us, strengthen us, but I didn't see that either. I deserted, and I bounced between different mercenary companies for almost 10 years. Hey, not all of us catch on so quick. Besides, there were only so many options for a Raotai deserter with no training and anything else. As a mercenary, I figured I could at least choose my battles and my crew. Yeah, it just took me a little longer to figure that out. Being part of a squad kept me going. For a while, anyway. By the time I came to the Living Lands, I'd seen enough. Had enough. I did. Yeah. For a while. Look, if I can give you some hard-won advice, stay on your toes. You're in a difficult position. Whatever your role asks of you, make sure it's something you're willing to give. Because you're the one who has to live with the consequences. Hey, advice is easy. The hard part's all you. What do you want to know? My favorite subject. That must have been 6 years ago now. I guess I was drifting, looking for a change. A settlement called Thirdborn. It's a rugged little place, lots of Raotai expatriates. really was. Anyway, we were talking about something else, yeah? What gave it away? My finely pointed teeth, or the striking blue of my scales? Fair enough. My people are known to roam. Rawatai's hardly a hospitable environment. Many of us end up settling elsewhere, or making a living on the go. That's where you get the popular image of the Amawa bodyguard or mercenary. Don't sell me short. I've also been a drifter, a middling carpenter, and a terrible card player. We should play sometime. I'll show you. Then you must have come during our sunny season. Lashed by storms and battered by waves. We call it the rough country. And old trenchers say it's made us who we are. We do a lot of digging for irrigation, drainage, warfare, the occasional village tournament. Anyone from Rawatai has spent enough time in some kind of hole in the ground to be on a first-name basis with the worms. So, trenchers. Those of us who leave are scramble roots, hardy weeds that can survive just about anywhere. You'd fit right in with the Ranganui's inner circle. It's true that the same things that make Rawatai a difficult place to live have shaped our people and our kingdom. Our coral masons have built living harbors and fortifications along the coast to protect our ships and shelter our cities. For all our shortage of fertile soil, Rawatai's land is abundant in saltpeter, copper, iron, most of the other materials you need to outfit your military with weapons and cannons. We value struggling and striving together. It helped us survive and build one of the most powerful navies in Aora. It's been hard-won across a variety of conquests, cooperatives, and trading colonies. Some of the traditionalists worry that prosperity is making us as complacent and soft-handed as our rivals. Same as traditionalists everywhere. Me, I prefer the simplicity of the living lands. Kill the thing that's trying to kill you, and hope it has some edible meat on it. Sure. What's on your mind? Shoot. Check your bedroll for fangworms. I haven't seen this much. Much excitement in a while. Perhaps I've got you to thank for bringing it with you, Envoy.
Watch out once you get past the palisades. The Stranger route is apparently hostile to life, as the scholars say. Wait a moment. Oh, Birth, eat my soul. You're the envoy. Sorry, didn't mean to be so informal. They said the Emperor sent one of his best and brightest, and Aethys knows we need the help.
Your reputation precedes you.
I hope your voyage here was smooth as good butter. I know maybe too much about rough seas, what with serving in the galleys. Did you deserve it? Kidding. Sorry to hear, envoy. The living lands is dangerous. We should be sticking together. Can't imagine what might have possessed them to do that. I hope it isn't the damn soul plague. I haven't seen anything like that before. It seems to change people. Animals. Feels sometimes like the plague is alive somehow. Sorry for the glib tongue. I've tried to be more proper before. Didn't work. I'm no good at niceties, including abiding by most rules. The law and I aren't exactly the best of friends, no. Although, I think that's Adia's problem. I was mostly just stealing food. If you're born to the wrong social class, Adia makes climbing the ranks rather difficult. Anyway, that's all in the past. Learned? No, absolutely not. What I've learned is you can either obey the rules or die. I got caught for my many small, petty crimes and spent about 6 years on the prison galleys. Then, a year ago, an Adiran official came to the jails and told us we could serve the Empire for a shortened sentence or rot. You can guess which I chose. Seems reasonable to me, too. If I get lucky, I might even die out here. All in all, it's a pretty sweet deal. 3 square meals, bed of my own, maybe even a chance to retire as a clerk. Wouldn't mind being bored stupid for a few years. Better than the alternative. But first, even more palisades. He and the Clavager passed through not long ago. I didn't much like it, but they refused an escort. Less competent than he seems. You think with all the time the ambassador spends working, he'd have more done. No, I hear he's about to sneeze away from swallowing the muck he's paddling in. Poor man. About Adir. That same hungry empire that is looking to gobble up the living lands. The one that sends people out to maybe die for its ambitions. Kind of you to ask, envoy. The truth is, not really. Adir's fair and good to the people it thinks deserve compassion. But break its trust, and well, Adir will make you crawl to retrieve the pieces. You can tell it's a place that worships Wodiga. Actually, I miss the pies. The crust's all wrong here. Just take a look down the road, and you'll see the last palisades we tried to hold. And the ones before them. We're trying our best to keep the wilds at bay here, envoy. The strangleroot is hungry. Every day it gets closer. Every day, weirder creatures crawl out from its foliage. Be careful if you're headed out there. Anyway. Palgrunin beer is surprisingly terrible. Always trust in a Maoin to know where the best seafood is. Pay attention when the locals tell you something. And watch out for poets. Something's odd about them. Listen, Envoy. I'm here to build defenses against the land. You want geography lessons? Go ask a cartographer. I do know a few things, though. So, ask. No, none. It's all untamed wilderness and feral heathens. I'm joking. Of course there are. There's Fjord, which is run by animancers. Thirdborn, where all the ruffians dwell. And Solus Keep, which has the Palgrunin, who don't like anybody. And happily, too. Sounds like they've got a whole colony of inventors and researchers there. If I want a servant of the Adiran Empire, I might say it sounds fascinating. Groundbreaking, even. I know animancy is considered blasphemous and dangerous, but Fjord supplies most of the produce we eat here in Paradise. They must be doing something right. Miscreants and layabouts and all those great things. The kind of people who can make a life out of impossibly bad situations. Settlements just as rough and tumble. Wouldn't mind having a drink with the locals, to be honest. They sound like they've got stories. You know what I mean? Heard they're under siege right now, though, by those dream thralls. Wouldn't want to be them, between the desert weather and that. I mean, the Palgrunin dwarves won't talk to anybody. They stay inside Solus Keep and just never come out. Ask them then. You're a nice distraction, Envoy. Hot-tempered bastard. I think the ambassador's scared of him, but won't do a thing because the Claviger keeps the wheels turning. Good at its job, though. Purportedly. Bad about his confections. Sweet tooth like a hummingbird's. He and the ambassador make a good pair, honestly. The ambassador talks a lot. The Claviger gets the administrative day-to-day done. Honestly, I'm more scared of her than Woduka. At least I understand why the Burned Queen is so pissed. Ludwig runs the Steel Garrote, Woduka's order of paladins. The only thing they care about is their Burned Queen. There's honor among thieves, Envoy. But zealots, they'll raise the world for their god. Listen, Envoy. I'm here to build defenses against the land. You want geography lessons? Go ask a cartographer. I do know a few things, though. So, ask.
This one's mine. Another down. We make a good squad.
Those must be your ambassadors, man. That's a bad sign. Even Pargrun and walls can't stand against this place.
One for you! Show me what you got!
This used to be a shortcut to Emerald Stair. Then the land got other ideas.
Is that all you got? One for you!
A rot seeps through here. Who poisons us? We cannot see.
It used to be this overgrown. I can take care of that if you want.
Stand back.
I got a bad feeling about whatever that bear's chomping on.
Good shot.
That's a bad way to go. It's almost like the brambles are trying to crush that house. Ready, aim.
Coming in hot.
The scourge invades. Claw it out.
Good fight.
It breathes. It is close.
That's the claviger. What happened?
Are you blind? We're being hunted. Get rid of the band. We'll talk after. Are you blind? We're being hunted. Get rid of the band. We'll talk after.
Show me what you got.
You monstrosity! Well done!
What happened to the bear?
Oh, poor bastard. One of Ludwine's toy soldiers. I never even learned their name. Not that it would have done us any good. Oh, my savior. Oh, thank the gods. Your arrival couldn't have been more timely. Oh, I can manage. This isn't my first brush with death, and it may not be my last. Oh, Ambassador Falchion Heelguard at your service, and you must be our Imperial envoy. Better late than never, I say. Keep it close until we're back at the embassy. I prefer to take bad news in the comfort of my office. Aren't you going to introduce me to your capable companion? Can he be trusted? Or did he now?
A little faster, and we might have been able to save Clavenger Eamon, too. Happy to have been of service, nevertheless.
I'm charmed. I take it you had business with the Clavenger? Poor fellow. It was the bear that killed him, of course. This wilderness has been a little too wild of late. I'm no woodsman, but I'm inclined to agree. We heard alarming reports of a blight in the wilderness, and a strange corruption moving toward the city. The changes in the ecosystem are expected, but this one was progressing too rapidly to ignore. We tracked the corruption all the way here, but all we found was that creature gone mad. Did you? We lost contact with our coastal detachment days ago. I was hoping for better news. The situation is more dire than I imagined. We need a plan of action before whatever this is consumes the living lands.
We are here. Come to us. Commune with us. We have waited for you. Come.
What's the matter? Can you hear me? But you... Very well, if you say so. The Emperor trusts your judgment, and so do I. Whatever you think is best, I'll support it. You know something of our troubles. That much is clear. What would you have us do?
Right behind you.
Oh, just be careful. The Emperor would never forgive me if anything happened to you.
Take it slow. We'll be right here.
It is you. Come closer. We feared you were but a dream. We wake from seasons of slumber. We have been waiting. We were drowning in our nightmares for so long. Your hand was a branch. Escape! We reached for you. And you are familiar to us. Our memories are fractured. But you too are alone in your strangeness. Godlike. This term means nothing to us. But why would you belong to another, shackled to their will? Shackled like us, to rot and corruption. It spreads and festers and seeps and crawls. Poor bear. Poor us. Poor you. Yes, the air sings with its spores. It is everywhere. We can feel it. We fear it. We can see where it spreads. It is an infection. A foreign body invades. The host fights back. We feel the pain of this intrusion. It overwhelms us. If an animal sickens after a fight, as it howls and sings its agony, what do you do? Nurse it, care for it, grow it like the vines. We were loved once, perhaps. We remember, almost. A thought, like motion in the water. The rot festers. We could suck the poison out. Let green things grow in its place, and we could give you the gift of our healing touch. But a favor for a favor. Would you help us in return when we ask it? A favor for a favor then. This place shall heal, and you shall know our power. We tire. New again this world, new again words. We will find you soon.
Incredible. Envoy, I don't know what you did, but that was miraculous.
You all right? You look like you were in a trance for several minutes.
What happened? What can you recall? Spare no detail. You must be sensitive to the spirit world. Some are gifted, or cursed, with such talents. Inquisitor Ludwig will need to hear of this. I've agreed to share my findings with the Steel Garrote, as long as they do the same. Not that she has any interest in ecology. Ludwig is obsessed with our security, sees enemies lurking around every corner. Ah, I heard that you two had a connection. Well, she is as you knew her, for better or worse. The Steel Garrote provide us some much-needed protection, but they answer only to themselves. We have our interest in the living lands, and they have theirs, a mutually beneficial arrangement. Stay out of their way, and they'll return the favor. Make sure and use that to your advantage. You never know. It might come in handy. We'll talk more at the embassy. I'll ensure the Paradise militia give you free passage into the city. Ah, Envoy, what you've done here is truly amazing. Let's keep up the good work, eh?
Just watch your step. There are swaths of the city barely more civilized than this.
The loss of the claviger will be felt in every corner of Paradise.
Whatever the Inquisitor's like, she can't be worse than that bear, can she? Full of surprises, Envoy. I'd heard godlikes have strange powers, but I've never known them to heal an entire grove. Guess your Emperor really did send the right person for the job, huh? Still, you have your work cut out for your Paradise. Enjoy the calm while you can.
The path to Paradise is a tad overgrown, but I can find my way back.
old fella who used to live here ended up in one of those shanties by the dock. Now I see why. In Rawata, you don't abandon goods. What's happening here?
Nice shot!
Nothing like a win with a good team. The so-called godless people disappeared centuries ago, but left plenty of ruins to remember them by.
Hitting hard enough.
You're gonna regret that.
Nice. Watch the left.
Despite the name, the Living Lands isn't an easy place to make a life, but it breeds resourcefulness. Good find.
Nobody will look for it. Honestly, it's not a bad...
How did you get in there?
2 guards, wine, and a dead body. There's a story here.
Bon and I caught this man trying to load a crate onto the lift. Turned out, he was smuggling animancy equipment.
So we've closed this lift down, as a precaution. You didn't know it was off limits at the time.
Now you do. We'll never get ahead of these smugglers unless we cut off their routes. In the meantime, sorry, you'll have to go back to the main road.
Well...
Don't make her pull rank.
When you put it like that, no. Apologies. Go through.
But don't come back with anything illegal or we'll detain you. Nothing personal.
cheap, fertile land is too good to be true, you say.
You were the one who told me we should try our hands at farming.
The land under our feet is nothing but clay and salt.
Who says we can't try anyway?
If you came all this way for arable land, you might as well get back on your ship and leave.
Maybe she can help us.
We're not taking another stranger at their word.
She's a godlike, not a stranger. What have we got to lose? A gentleman sold us his farm, sight unseen, of course. He boasted of making a fortune off the living lands.
We risked everything for this opportunity, but the place is in shambles and the earth is barren. The scoundrel took our coin and ran. It's a miracle the deed was legitimate.
So do we find a way to squeeze life out of this dead farm? Or do we cut our losses? Oh my goodness! This is more than enough for seed, and we'll need workers for tilling the soil.
One thing at a time, my love. I don't know how to thank you, but if you want us to farm, we'll farm. Our first harvest is dedicated to Adir, and that's a promise.
You know, sometimes it's kinder not to give people false hope.
Oh, no, you don't! What's the target? You take lead. Take your best shot. Next one's mine. Watch the left. I was just getting warmed up.
Guard. Doesn't seem like the kind of man you'd send to the frontier, does he? You seem much better suited to it. By the way, now that we've gotten to know each other, let me know if you want to train together. I've been watching your form, and I think we could learn from one another. Yeah, I've watched your form as I've gotten to know you, and it's excellent. You're smaller than I am, but I picked up a few tricks from seeing the way you move on the battlefield. I'm happy to return the favor if there's anything I can teach you. Some of that is sheer stubbornness, but I can give you some pointers on your stance, too. That's it. You got the hang of it. I look forward to seeing what you can do when we get back out there tomorrow. In the meantime, get some rest.
Welcome to Paradise, Envoy. The ambassador's expecting you.
Look, I'm sorry. I told you, only the front gates are open for now.
Surprised they'll let us walk out of here.
It's been a lot quieter since you arrived.
Paradise can be a nice place, if you know the right people.
Lockdown's lifted, but only the front gate is open for the time being. Lockdown's lifted, but only the front gate is open for the time being.
Show yourself! Who's you?
Don't mess
Here we
with
go!
us!
On your right! Stop right there! Where's my mark? Here it comes. Aye, aye. Here it comes. Coming in hot. Aye, aye. You're mine now. Who's ready for more?
Supplies you need for prices you can afford. I've seen you before, haven't I? Or maybe heard someone talking about you? Welcome to my store. If I haven't got it, it can't be got.
cheap wares for cheap folks.
Don't worry, this place is sturdier than it looks.
one tops five prices, guaranteed.
Ever wish you could move back into Paradise?
Of course.
The downside of Adir's new arrivals. Paradise doesn't have room for everyone.
I can't believe you did it. Good work out there, Envoy. Only just arrived and you're already the talk of the town. Well, the ambassador ordered me to give you free access to the city. No idea why he's calling the shots all of a sudden, but...
That sounds ominous.
Anyway, you can go on ahead. The ambassador's expecting you. Well, she comes and goes. You never know where she'll turn up, and it's never for a good reason. Kind of like a nightmare. Once you're in the city, you'll find the Adiran embassy due north of the gatehouse. Take care, Envoy.
What? No parting words from me? After all the time we spent together?
Shove off, Muttonhead. How's that for a parting word?
With talk like that, it's no wonder the Adirans think we need a little civilizing. At least I'm in good company now, right?
You should not be here. You should be free, whole, the blood feeding your veins. Why are you here? A space within emptiness, where the gods live and the dead wait. A cage, a prison. We feel the souls of multitudes, a current beneath the skin of this place. We could dip our hand in once, feel them near us. But now, we are trapped like wasps in amber. But you should be alive. Worse, you died. Someone cut short your span. An arrow broke the skin. It carried poison to your veins. A festering blot of corruption spread through the root and sap. It stilled your heart. It silenced the song in your mind. As many as the beetles and worms in the soil. But we do not want that. We could send you back. Just this once. You think of us, with your own escape so near. We are moved and decided. We will use our waning strength to free you. Then you must find us. Free us from our prison. You are ours. We tend to the sprout on the bough. Breathe deep. All birth is agony.
You're awake? Thank the gods. For a second there, I thought I had a problem on my hands. You're alive, somehow. That's what counts.
Glad to see you with us. I was sure you were already on your next trip around the wheel, but I brought you here just in case. If anyone can work a miracle, it's Liviana, though whatever restored you is beyond even her skill. I don't suppose this would be the same one you heard earlier?
There's something I still don't understand. Envoy, you died. A resistance to poison isn't a resistance to the beyond.
What does this mean for her? Should she expect anything else strange? Other than coming back from the dead, I mean.
That depends on a few things. Visions and hallucinations? Likely. Manifestations of past lives? Uncommon, but possible. Sounds like the echo of a past life. I wish I could tell you more. This is far beyond my expertise. You should visit Runid, our local watcher. She would know what to make of your strange, stubborn soul. One who sees into the spirit realm, speaks to the dead, and knows the past through their eyes. A watcher examines the soul down to its very core. I can't think of anyone more qualified for the job. Runid's shop is in the hills to the northeast. A bit of a walk. Just head out of the gate to the east of town and follow the path that curves to the north. It should be perched up in the hills. Oh, but avoid the Watcher in Hightown. She's a known charlatan. I'll send word to the ambassador that you survived, but he'll no doubt want to talk to you. Head up the stairs outside my clinic and take a left onto the main road. That'll get you to the embassy.
I suppose following the chain of command will soothe his worries. Either way, I should go with you. Your assassination is bound to have stirred things up. Don't mention it. Besides, I don't want this to blow up any more than you do. The sooner we solve your murder, the better for everyone. And we should talk back at camp. I'm hoping you can help me understand what just happened to you.
Hey, I had a dream about you. In my dream, you were surrounded by light, but it was shining from inside.
This may not be the prettiest part of town, but it's got the grinning Battle Rock.
You saved my life. He would have killed me, and all for a few coins.
Think nothing of it. Any law-abiding citizen would have done the same.
Paradise is getting more dangerous by the hour.
You there? Are you just going to stand there and gawk at that body all day?
He's dead. It's not like I can do anything for him, now can I?
You can see that the poor bastard is properly processed. What is this? Charnel House?
First week in the Living Lands.
close, but what's the point? It's useless without the camera.
You died, but you're here. Gods, am I glad to see you. Still can't believe you're alive.
Envoy, is it really you? I can't believe you're alive. When they dragged you to Liviana's clinic, I assumed the worst. How do you feel? And yet you rallied your spirits and reported for duty. Your dedication is admirable. But we'll return to the topic of your untimely demise shortly. Our first order of business is your purpose here in the Living Lands. You said you had a missive for me from the Emperor? Very good. I'm eager to see what our Emperor intends. Now, His Majesty names you a loyal servant of the Adiran Empire, and an extension of the throne's authority. Thank goodness, at least someone understands the gravity of our situation. and I can't think of anyone more suited for the job. You've seen how wild the Living Lands has become, both in nature and in politics. Sometimes I think the island has a mind of its own. No sooner had you arrived than you found yourself at the center of our troubles. At this point, I can't rule anything out. We're in uncharted waters. This embassy has no shortage of political foes, but the Dream Scourge is what keeps me up at night. You've seen firsthand what it can do in nature. We can't let it reach the cities. Thank you, Envoy. The island is in capable hands. Inquisitor Ludwig thinks the plague is a distraction. She's more concerned about these local rebels fighting against the Empire. They were paradisans once, law-abiding laborers. Now, they're fugitives and oath-breakers hiding amongst the populace. They've sabotaged our work, killed our soldiers, and the final straw, attacked you out in the open. I look forward to hearing about it in your report. I won't lie to you, Envoy. Our position is tenuous. If we can't even defend ourselves, how are we to defend the Living Lands? But defend it we must, for the sake of everyone who calls this island home. Inquisitor Ludwig demands that someone hang for the attempt on your life. These Paradisan rebels must face justice. Ludwig goes where she likes, haunting the Living Lands like a vengeful spirit. She'll reappear when she chooses, and not a moment sooner. Let's make sure to give her some good news for a change.
Not many get a chance to solve their own murder, you know. I know someone who could help. A dwarven tracker named Marius. Kith or beast, there's little he can't find. He's staying at the Grinning Ballarrock, not far from Liviana's infirmary. We just take the main road east to the market, then head down the stairs and cross the canal. Rough part of town, even by the standards of Paradise. I can tell you're skeptical, but remember that you're an outsider here, and a lot of Kith aren't exactly thrilled to see so many adherents in their midst.
New weeds, a new beast in the tall grass. Predator or mate?
As you've seen firsthand. You could use some local help, especially if we really are after Paradisans.
I suggest you recruit as many allies as you can, but choose carefully. They, like you, will represent the Empire. But before we can send you off to parts unknown, we need assurances from the local healer that you're fully recovered. After all, you survived a brush with death. The health of your body is one thing, the health of your soul is another. An unusual course of treatment, but who am I to argue? Remember, the assassin is out there. You have the element of surprise. I suggest you use it.
Tracking down mysterious assassins with a godlike who returned from death, all while the rumored Dream Scourge spreads. Can't say I'm prepared, but I'm ready.
We'll talk more of the Dream Scourge when you return. Until then, Envoy.
How about we start with Marius at the Grinning Ballarrock? Besides, I could use a drink after all this.
wish that sawbones would hurry up. I gotta get back to... No one else is coming to help.
Guess adhering discipline doesn't apply to us.
Just like the good old days.
Huh.